So this is a digital journal, I think 25. So back in my little cubby hole once again. Most of this stuff doesn't really concern me that I'm in. Some of the meat and information. So an email just came through about a data center position. An email came through, and I was telling one of my guys, I said, once you get this skill set, robots, artificial intelligence can't really do anything about that. Not for another 10 to 15 years, if that. They gotta have somebody out there. Just like a business analyst position, they have to have somebody out there. They need a brain to deal with the vendors. Like my brother Elmi told me, it only takes a couple weeks to get the training if you understand layer 1 and all that basic security. And so I sent it to 2 of my guys. You know what I'm saying? So I sent it to them because they got cybersecurity certifications. I said they should just let you right in. You got enough experience to do it, but it's on site. It's not going to be much remote work in the data center. But when you, like I say, when you're dealing with that layer 1, that's guaranteed easy money. Once you learn a job, you just breeze right through it. You're not going to be taking tickets every 5 damn minutes. People coming up to you. You run the show. So, what's probably going to come up this weekend? I'm going to do an analysis on the executive order for the HBCUs. It looks like they're getting ready to boot a lot of the Boule Sambos up out of there, which is good. And they're going to cut that DEI garbage so everybody else can't just get what we're historically supposed to get. That's what it sounds like to me in code. I don't know. If that's the case, good. Because Black Americans, we're supposed to be the ones that only get that off the HBCUs. Everybody else ain't supposed to latch on. You know, I call it the ABC people. Yeah, no, they ain't supposed to be a part of that. Because that's the only people that benefit from the DEI anyway. So we're going to break that down. You got somebody trying to take Sharpton's place, telling us, well, we need to break our necks over the DEI when it don't benefit us. So you got the dude that got ran out of Baltimore. We're going to break that down. Because that has to do with the workplace. But more than anything, I'm going to try to do a story time on the nonprofit scams. The one I told you about. And then also, this one is going to be, let me pause this for a second. All right, got my update, back at it. So, what I was saying was that I was telling my guys, I sent it to, and they're probably watching right now, my guy Titan and my homie KJ, and I was telling them, look, and hopefully some of my homies and people that know me, when they trying to get updates, what's going on, you could get it updates in these digital journals, especially when it comes to this tech stuff. So people wonder, what's up with DP? I ain't heard from him. Hit the digital journal. The data center positions, once you start to learn the position, and once you start, and I'm gonna get I got a ping. Matter of fact, I'm gonna text Brother Elmi. Brother Elmi did that telecom thing early on how do you get into the layer 1 and dealing with Field Nation and stuff like that. That's another one. If Titan's listening, once you get yourself, well, I ain't gonna put your business. Once you get yourself together, you get that data experience, and you can start doing what Brother Elmi did, and you can go through Field Nation, and you could subcontract for like 45, 50 an hour. Damn near like Uber. You get your layer 1 experience. You already got your cybersecurity, Cisco. If you want to get your CCNA, you ain't, you know, whatever. Let them pay for it. They'll probably pay for it. It's free. Or we'll go back to that program. And you have a Cisco cert. Go ahead and ride off Cisco. Get you a data center position. It's not remote. You may have to go back in the office for a little while. And just get that, it's an easy bag. You sit there, you take a ticket, you rack and stack something, you let people in the room. You're not going to be doing all of this you're dealing with vendor. It's a project coordination. That's another skill set you could put on the resume. Once you get data center experience, you can always use it. Every employer loves infrastructure layer 1 on your resume. And then you might end up at Google or somewhere, Rosemount, Minnesota. I think they were supposed to be building a data center in the next couple of years. Man, go ahead and get that $125,000, bro. I know you could do it. I know you could do it, Titan. I know you could do it. Easy. I ain't steered you wrong yet. You could do it. Go ahead and get that 125 when they open up that new data center. So this story, let me see where we at. They're back at, let me see, hold on. I ain't gonna really worry about too much of the other stuff. Anyway, so this story / digital journal is about, again, when people self-deputize themselves for the job. I'll tell you a little quick story about a guy, and I'll break it down even further, like off camera, on the podcast maybe. So y'all gonna get 3 stories. You're gonna get at least 2. I promise you. You're gonna get at least 2. I'm gonna get the podcast equipment up, and it may not have 2 monitors. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it in the basement, so it might look a little shabby down there. So don't make fun of me. I'm sitting up there looking like dude from Tales from the Hood. I might pop out with the story time. So this guy got himself into a situation where now he don't have to do a bunch of tickets. He doesn't have to do a bunch of tickets. He positioned himself to where he could get towards a managerial kind of position. So he's still doing a little bit of break fix. But now everybody else has to do a bunch of break fix non-stop. But this guy figured out a way to where he could position himself towards a lot more projects. So he doesn't have to do hardly any of the break fix. So he could just kind of walk around and just so do his thing. So the other people were upset with that because he positioned himself to where he barely has to do anything. He literally just walks around. So the other dudes is mad. I ain't hating on him. He barely has to do whatever, and it's like a blatant thing. It's like that's his position. He's moving. He's being kind of groomed towards the managerial position. So he's still on that team, but he don't got to do nothing. He can just collect his big bag, and he ain't really got to do anything. But that's his position. That's what the higher ups are saying, man, go do your thing. So the other guys is kind of like, well, he could just walk around and not do this, that, and that, the third, and all that. And they are salty about it, but they never went to him about it. So I'm just like, ain't got nothing to do with me. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal. So I'm going to break that down a little further. But they deputize themselves to say, well, I'm gonna act like I got some control over. You can't self-deputize yourself. Nobody's giving you that permission to self-deputize yourself because the manager's saying otherwise for you. So you ain't got no power. You just gonna have to accept it and just take your tickets. You gonna have to just take your tickets and do your thing. So, but now back to my guy and stuff like that. I'm gonna upload him. I'm gonna copy him. Once you get into that data center realm, because I had a couple interviews for that stuff too, but they said I was too technical. So I don't know, man. It was a data center about back late last year. They said I'm too technical. So they said it wouldn't be a fit. And you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe they was right. But they kind of wanted your eyes kind of like glued to the screen all the time. No, I'm not trying to do all that. And I was just going to take it just to get that experience. It was going to be like a second shift or something like that. So you're literally not dealing with dealing with layer 1 just for a little bit. You're not even touching anything physical that much, but your eyes is glued to the screen with all these alerts. And I was like, So actually, you know what? They was right. What did I have to do? Well, DP had to swallow his pride part of 2024 and take a lower rate, which was eventually fully remote, pretty much. It was almost fully remote. So, but it worked out. It worked out for me. So I'll upload this in a minute. We'll get to it.